Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, I want to thank you, Lord, for every blessing that you bestowed on us today. Lord, we know that we don't deserve any of it, but in your grace, you've given us plenty to be rejoiceful about. Lord, as we go through this meeting, Lord, let us remember to do what's right in your eyes and not what's right in the world's eyes. Lord, and if we can do that, we'll make sure that we give you all the glory and all the honor now and forever. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll have the roll call. Alderman Prince, his little boy got hurt today or something, so he's hospital and I don't know exactly what I was on.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Alderman Howard? Here. Alderman Bell? Here. Alderman Mason? Here. Vice Mayor Nichols? Here. Alderman Elam?
Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of January 10th? Have a second? Is any corrections? If not, call the roll.
Alderman Howard? Yes. Alderman Bellamy?
Yes.
Alderman Mason?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nichols?
Yep.
Alderman Elam?
Okay, I don't have anything. Any comment from citizens? Any citizens?
Good citizens. A lot of times we thank you for some direct reflection of these young men back here and the city as a whole, your leadership. And we don't normally, Bob thanks you in the work session, and I don't think you get enough thanks publicly. So I wrote down a few little words.
A few what?
A few little words. All right, Merle sang a song with Uncle Lynn. Leonard sang at Curtis Lowe. Songs about two black men and their words that touched my soul. They overcome the bitterness and hate that came their way. They chose to spread their love and talent. Oh, the music curved its way. Reminds me of a friend of mine that wasn't treated fair. Because of the color of his skin, he would have tough times to bear. Couldn't go to school here, although the distance was just too hard. Had to listen to the ignorance and hate the people's thought. Wouldn't take him out of hospital in X County, hurt from a football play. When he would grow to be a man, what would this man say? He says, I love this little town. Where I was raised and my children were raised in. I strive to make it better for all that live within. The ugly part of life I saw was overshadowed by the love of our city. I'd like to think that we could get along as one, come together, I believe. Merle, wish you hadn't passed away. Another song you might sing, a song called Mary of Manchester, or Lonnie Norman. I like that.
Thank you very much. I want to thank everybody. I have no idea y'all was going to do something like that. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love each and one of you. And I appreciate all the things that y'all do. You mean so much to me. world would be a lot better for everybody to get along. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, we'll get into,
We have a comment from a citizen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Renata Bates, and I have been living here in Manchester for the last 52 years. And I had something on my heart that I needed to bring in front of you. And I have been a little bit educated when I brought this up to different people. When we had this cold spell, when we had below zero, I couldn't go to sleep because I knew there are people that don't have a place to stay. And is there any way, and I don't even know how many homeless people we have in this area. I know there is a place where they can go and telephone, and there's one of the churches that opens up the old sanctuary there at the Trinity where Cedar Lane and Wilson Road is. And it's just on my heart. I don't know how we can address this. That there is a shelter for these homeless people. I know some of them, they want to be homeless, there. But, so I just thought, to make myself feel better, to bring this in front of the board. And I thought, maybe at one time or another it can be addressed. That there is a place for them to know where it is, and I know there is liability and all of this, but I thank you for listening to me.
okay, and I promise you one thing, that we will look at it.
Because I know what it is when you're hungry and cold, it's double whammy. So, thank you.
Appreciate it. We will look at it. Anybody else? Okay, we'll go ahead and get into committees. Safety committee. Got a report, sir. Finance.
Yeah, I feel like I got something to report, Bridget. You can help me through this a little bit. We got audit to talk about. Congratulations to you. There are only a few recommendations. You're going to have to go having zero the next audit, so that's something we're going to work on. There was one that was about the school board was kind of writing checks before they were telling us to put money in the bank or whatever. I think you've begun to talk to the school board about that. It's not even an accomplice thing. It's just a thing that's been happening. So it's something to be easily fixed. And I think you're on that. And then what was the thing? The other recommendation on that?
The difference in the subsidiary ledger and the general ledger.
Yes, and there's not anybody looking at that ledger, and we're talking about that ongoing discussion more out there, see how we can work through that.
And I've got him tasked, and I'm setting a meeting with him to cover it.
Their budget person's going to come and give us some time, and then it's good. So is there anything else here?
Okay.
Thank you.
Street.
I don't think we met, did we? We meet? We didn't meet, did we?
We got to meet Monday, the 11th.
Monday the 11th.
The 11th.
Okay. Water and sewer.
We have a meeting this Thursday at 3.
That's correct.
At the warehouse.
Recreation.
We're going to be meeting the third Thursday, because people have conflicts. So we'll be meeting February 21st at the Recreation Center at noon.
Tourism. That's not here. Planning commission. We've got to make, no, we don't have to make this one. Historical zoning.
We have a meeting Thursday.
Okay. Jenny. You have anything?
Website's going to launch February 21st, so.
All right. Okay, we'll get into resolution orders.
First thing I have is a resolution setting fees for the use of the Ada Wright Center sponsored by Alderman Ingram.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second? The discussion? What's the prices, is all that, we're gonna do? You going up on,
What we did is, we're kind of a situation, I don't have enough staff, and we get, in terms of monitoring the use of the Ada Wright building when it's being rented, and so we have sometimes 3 rentals in one day, and they walk out with tables, or things happen, we don't know who it is, so we, Recreation Commission decided, let's just do 1 rental for the day. That way, my guys come in every morning and clean anyway, so they'll know if something's missing and that person's responsible. And also to raise the rate of what we're charging because if we're gonna get a whole day's rental. People can still ask for a 50% discount for financial reasons or whatever that we'll entertain. But this way, I think we'll have more order to the rental of the building, a little bit more custodial care of it. And then also we'll cover more of the expenses, because really what we were charging by the time you add utility costs, the heat, cool, and water, really doesn't cover it.
okay. Any more discussion on it? Any more?
Alderman Howard.
Yes.
Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Bassett. Vice Mayor Nichols. Alderman Ely.
Have a resolution for consideration of engineering services for the Little Duck River Greenway extension to Pond Road. It was amended, the price was amended by Mr. Gillum to $80,000 from the printed $90,500.
Do I hear a motion? Second? Second. Discussion? Is there any discussion? We talked about it in the work session. Everybody know, all right? Okay, no discussion, call roll.
Alderman Howard. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Bassett. Vice Mayor Nichols. Alderman Ely.
Have a resolution amending the physical development plan of the city of Manchester for aerial Doak Road to show it as residential as opposed to commercial.
Do you have a motion? Second? Is there any discussion on it? Is there any discussion?
What is it? I missed that. It's kind of an outline for it, it's basically changing the features of the plan. Where it might be commercial one day, back to residential. Is that just
Yes. Yes. In the S curve that's on the side toward Al White, or the Willis property, or the Howard property now, what the Willis property was where the house was, all on that side of the road, not on the east side. It's zoned residential, but it's in a commercial part of the physical development plan. When the physical development plan got enacted, it showed that as commercial, and even though it's still some residential, but it just goes it back, reverts it back to residential.
Okay. No, look.
Alderman Howard.
You have to say.
Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Bassett. Vice Mayor Nichols. Alderman Ely.
At first reading of the ordinance, amending Title 14, Chapter 6, Sections 1 to the Manchester Municipal Code, saying the zoning ordinance of the City of Manchester to amend ordinance and zoning map, provide that rules set on by I.A. Howard and by Maryland Howard, located on Doak Road, be zoned as R1A residential from R1 residential. And this is the same property we just amended physical development.
Second? Second. Any discussion?
What's the difference? Residential, residential.
5,000 square feet.
Yeah.
What?
I can come up there and try and explain it.
Size of the lot?
Yeah, the size of the lot.
So the R1A zoning was created in 2008. There was an R1A and an R2A zoning that was created. It was kind of split it's kind of split zone between R1 and R2. There's just some new residential zone that we created. And it reduces the lot area from 20,000 square feet to 15,000 square feet. The front setback from 50 feet to 40 feet, and then the side setback from 20 feet to 15 feet, and everything else stays the same.
Thank you, that's good vote.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Call the roll.
Alderman Howard.
Stay.
Alderman Bell. Alderman Mason. Vice Mayor Nichols. Alderman Elam.
We have second reading of an orders to establish guidelines for mural in the historic zoning district. Passed first reading January 10th, 2019, presented for second.
Have a motion? Second? Any discussion? Okay, call the roll.
Alderman Howard. Alderman Bell. Alderman Mason. Vice Mayor Nichols. Alderman Elam.
Briefly discussed at the work session was an ordinance to amend the fee or to eliminate the fee for buildings donated to the fire or donated to the city for training purposes. There's a $100 demolition fee. This allows the codes and health director to waive that fee if someone wants to donate the house for training purposes, but requires the fire chief to accept it, so we don't give him things we don't want.
Yes, sir. Okay, do I hear a motion on that? Second. Is there any discussion on it? Okay, call the roll.
Alderman Howard. Alderman Bell. Alderman Mason. Vice Mayor Nichols. Alderman Elam.
Okay, Chief.
Lance out coming up with Chris Patterson, captain. So we control the safety program, the fire department, it represents Officer in the city. Pass that up. All right. In October of 2018, the Manchester Police Department nominated Ben Sneed as the Cumberland Region Officer of the Year for 2018 to the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Officer Sneed was hired at Manchester Police Department on January the 1st of 2018. Officer Sneed has surpassed expectations in many ways with his impeccable work ethic to make our roadways safer. He has volunteered and worked numerous saturation events during traffic enforcement campaigns. From January the 1st to October the 1st, 2018, he had issued 394 traffic citations, including 70 speeding and 36 seatbelt citations. He has also made 113 arrests, with most of them being traffic related, including 8 DUI arrests and 49 drug arrests. Officer Sneed has made numerous traffic stops that led to methamphetamine cases and marijuana cases. Officer Sneed completed A-RIDE, which is Advanced Roadside Impaired Driving Enforcement, in June of 2018. He also completed Desert Snow Criminal and Narcotics Interdiction Training in October of 2018. Officer Ben Sneed has an outstanding work ethic and leads by example with his job performance. He is deserving of the award due to his tremendous drive to be very proactive and make our roadways as safe as possible. He is very deserving of the 2018 Officer of the Year for the Cumberland region. Ben Sneed, Officer of the Year for the Cumberland region 2018. Also, for receiving that award, Bethel University is one of the sponsors through Tennessee Highway Safety Office, and Bethel University has awarded Officer Sneed a $2,500 scholarship, which he can apply
towards an associate's degree, bachelor's degree, or master's degree program through the College of Professional Studies at his discretion.
Nice.
And here's your nice binder and your scholarship to Bethel University.
Mayor, I normally don't like talking. Also being pleased with my life and friends. Never leave. He's done a very, very great job. I was a little bit kind of small, we didn't see him left with him, but he's going to be back before long, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, when's the basketball game?
He's been.
I thought they was holding in February, is that not correct?
Some kind of delay, I don't understand what.
Then you're gonna have to play a different sport for you.
We'd like to ask Jordan Watson to come up now, and his family, just bring his family up. And also the class of 77 has a few members here, which I'm a member of also. And so since it's twofold here, I'm the police chief and the class of 77 spokesman for tonight. Ms. Shelton, you need to come up too, you're part of the class of 77. Jim Kilgore passed away and served on this board, and as you know, that he protected, this was said lots of times on the board, we always protected the police and the fire, and safety was his thing. And he's been a part of the Watson family, our family, for a long time. Class of 77, on behalf of Kim Kilgore, provided Jordan Watson with a bulletproof vest. He'll wear and continue to protect Jordan Watson, which was actually his favorite of all time. So we will present this to Jordan now. We have 10 desks that we're having to purchase, and we're purchasing 10 this year, and we do have a grant that will pay for half of our desks. So, of course, Jordan will go from the class of 77 to this check. Thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Is any old business come forward?
Mayor, you asked me to submit materials to impasse to see if they would render a different opinion about our city of Manchester's ability to participate in appointment of members to the public building board. I submitted the things Mr. Huston sent to see to us, and I have reviewed all of the minutes from city board meetings, work sessions for the year prior to the formation of that, and sent those matters to impasse that dealt with PBA. Unfortunately, they opined that since the city did not pass a resolution, even though there was a lot of many entries about participation in the conference center and attending meetings and even paying for the engineering fees before the PBA was formed, the lady at impasse is Hodge opines that since the city did not pass a resolution to join the create the PBA, the city is not a member of the PBA and not entitled to appoint members to it. That leaves us with a board that someone else appoints controlling something we own in a lot of our money.
I talked to the attorney today, and what I told him is I'd like for him to go to the county paper and talk to him about this. I told him that I wasn't interested in PBA. I could care less about PBA. They can have a PBA, but as long as it's something about the conference center, people that we put on board, I'd like to see them recognize them as being on that board. And they can do what they want. But I don't like the idea. Us paying money, we don't have our say. Taxation without representation. So when like I said, they can have the PBA, it's fine. But when they leave, making decisions about the conference center and the people that we pick to be on there, that's all they need to represent. I don't see why we would want to do it like they do. I'm going to ask somebody to make a motion. But what to do? Okay, what they decided to do that, wishing off the impact too, that people on the PPA, that the county is on the point.
Like the county mayor referred, Texas law, they referred, they the county.
No, not necessarily.
That's what they said in the last meeting when I asked them. So I don't understand.
They don't have to take what we suggest. This says that they can appoint whomever they want.
But the bottom line is, what I was told by the county commissioner, even if Mayor Cornell okays your decision, it's just a referral. It's the county commissioner that say yea or nay. So the bottom line is, the county commissioners have got that we have no recourse, that I hear legally, that the county commissioners are the ones that's going to say yea or nay. Whether Mayor Cornell okays it, he can only refer, is what I was told by. And then, so what do we ask voters for?
What the mayor has said is that we're going to take them up at that. The PBA is different from the conference center. He's asked me to look into how we get the conference center out from under the PBA and then get a way to have some say in how the PBA, how the conference center is run, and let them have the PBA, which it does those things.
Gerald, if you'll put that in the form of a motion, I'll make it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still not quite sure what's going on. Well, we didn't vote for the second. I'll go and make the motion. That's what I have to do.
This is it. We're wanting to take the conference center out from under the PBA, form a new board. Is that correct?
Yes, they can do it any way they want to. They can have, they can take the PPA board that they got now, we got 3 members on there. They can pick whoever they want to go on. But when it's concerning the conference center, we want representation.
So only the PBA could do that, though, is that right now?
Yeah, they would have to do it.
I mean, anything we did at this body wouldn't have any effect on what the commissioners do at the PBA.
That's correct.
So what are we making a motion about then?
All the mayor's asking is that they do consider our people that
Yeah.
are seated on the PBA now as members of the PBA, right?
Yeah.
And they have a voice in how the
Or
PBA is run.
let it go like it is right now. Well, we got another year and a half to make payments on it. Let those people that we got stay on there for a year and a half, take them off.
So
this would just be a resolution like we just resolved to request. It's a request, we sure can.
No, you can't make it.
No, we can't make it.
So, the question I have is this part where PBA can appoint whoever they want to because of the legal, because it wasn't said that we had a say-so in the end. But I don't understand this part where we're going to have a say-so in the conference center. If the PBA is over the conference center, we can't pull it out right now. What are you looking into, Jerry?
No, only if they let us. If we can look into pulling it out from it, because the conference center project is separate from the PBA. The PBA runs it right now by agreement between the city and the county, by the written agreement. It doesn't have to. Now, there are still bonds outstanding, and then there's an operating agreement. I don't think we have to let, well, we've got to have the county agreement. I don't think we have to let the PBA run the conference center. So, assuming we can get things lined up right, we could get the PBA out, get the conference center out from under the PBA, and then make an agreement with the county to run it separately and not have the PBA run it. But what the mayor has suggested is we pass a resolution asking the county to appoint our representatives as long as we're part of it, and then at the end of that, essentially be shed over.
What about just writing a letter from the mayor's office to request that from the...
We can do that, we can do that.
So we're not kidding
We
that
are
we're going to
deciding.
buy the conference center?
No, not at all.
Okay,
No.
that's what I'm...
Once it's paid off, we're still on the tax losses, is that correct?
Not really. The agreement says it's intended it will last until the bonds are paid off. So when the bonds are paid off, I'm sure the county will roll out. Then we'll decide we will have a paid off conference center that we own a half interest in, and they own a half interest in, we'll have to do something then.
I don't think losing money.
We can just send a letter.
We can all sign that. Just, just to say, hey, would you mind just leaving it like it is, so watch it.
We don't have a choice.
That's all we're asking. We're kind of coming with our hat in hand asking to do this, but that's what we're asking.
We're asking that they honor
Yeah,
our people that we send to them. And I don't think that's, I think that's a good request.
yeah.
There's just always come a step back in the day. But it might.
I mean, they can do what they want to, really.
They tell us no.
Yeah.
But if we don't ask, we won't get anything.
And, you know, one thing that when someone's coming up, we need to start asking people who will put in applications. At the last minute, you know, I suggest that we start asking people, because I asked them, I said, you know, if you guys are making all the decisions at the county commission meeting, then can we get someone who owns a business that wants to be on the and they said, no, we have to live in the city, and we have to approve it, the county commission.
It's fair enough.
Well, they
I
told
mean, we
me,
could ask them to put people that live in the city, but
Well-
the way it is right now, we can't force it.
they were saying, if we alternate it when it comes time to pick someone that, I said, well, if you guys are gonna choose, the county commissioner is gonna choose, can we, I know a couple of people that I think would do a good job that have a business in the city, but they live in the county, and they said, and the attorney said, no, they have to live in the city when your time comes up, and the county commissioners will approve it. But anyway, that's,
Not based on these opinions.
okay.
It's like they do have to be an elector of Coffee County, is all it's required.
So everybody wants to just do a letter and everybody sign it. Is that what we want to do? Am I right, Michelle? Sure. So we'll get the letter and get to everybody, let them see it, and we'll all sign it. Okay?
Mayor, I got one thing before we go.
Okay.
Gerald,
Yes, sir.
we talked about the exit 105,
Yes.
sewer down there. Did they ask you to draft a letter or something, a memorandum of interest?
Yes.
Are we ready? Is that something you've done?
I've started on that. There's parts of that that have to do with the urban growth boundary that's a lot complicated. And I talked to Mr. Pennington about it and kind of went, his idea of what we need out there went beyond just a water line to a water tank. Get everyone's input into what we actually need to do is a little more complicated than the outline I got. So I don't know if your all's idea is to include the water tank out there and the urban growth boundary is something we will not have any control over. I know that was a central part of that. And I just don't think we can control that. We can ask that and make our obligations conditional on that happening, I think, is probably what we need to
I
do.
think that's what we decided to do before we left, was just to ask that we could open up that urban growth.
In order to do that, you have to appoint people from utilities that are in the county and a variety of people get a seat on the board to open that up. And it's something that but I think that without doing that and not making it our obligation to take the sewer conditional that won't ever happen. They won't ever open it up. But the urban growth boundary,
Well, I think it's a talking point, but I don't think it's a sticking point.
okay, all right, well, okay. Then that makes it easier to draw. What about the water line? We talked about different, I talked with Mr. Pink about different sizes out there. Is that just a water line out to North Coffee? He told me, he said we ultimately need a water tank out there.
We will ultimately, but I don't know if the water tank would be part of this. The more we put in, it's greater harder.
And that's, when I started putting pen to paper, that's kind of where.
If it was a water tank discussion, the water line tank, that's a little, actually, a separate discussion, going on for some time.
Yeah, there's a water problem, there's a water issue out there with pressure, and we're going to try to correct that while we're running the sewer. So we can kill two birds with one stone. And I don't think anybody
It's not a
disagrees
problem
with
with
that.
pressure, it's just a very lower pressure.
Well, okay, all right.
If it's a little more or less depth, that might be easier to draw.
Well, let's make it as easy as we can make it fair.
Okay.
We have to make it right, if it's going to take a while.
We do.
You can't just leave that in our, and say this.
That's for future, that's not something we have to do right now, say that we do it in the future.
Well, I don't think you can really do one, I don't think you can do the two without the water.
That's right.
I think one thing hinges upon the other. Although there's plenty of water in here, it just has a small water tank down there. So, whatever the volumes for something commercial, or, their idea of their commercial that we talked about is nothing set in stone yet, so we don't really know what we're talking about. It's more of a conceptual idea at this point, but the idea is that yes, before you get something, a large user out there, you would need to upgrade your water system. It was put in the 1960s, so I mean, it's serving its time and its purpose, and it's time for it to be upgraded as well. We just spent a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, upgrading the water pump station that serves it. So the next step is going to be the water line.
And at some points in time, there was a discussion about how much sewage we would be willing to take as a capacity of our plant. But what was sent to me indicated that we would not provide sewer service to any place that was not annexed. And if we annex it, we're obligated to take it. I don't know, and I guess we make that decision again, how much we're going to annex, how much sewer, how much of our sewer plant capacity takes when we make the annexation decision. Because they can't make us annex it, but they can prevent us from doing it. So
We can't annex it if it's not under the road.
by force, that's correct. Pretty much can't annex anything. But once we just make the decision to annex it, we have to put them in a plan to take their sewer. We can't put a restriction. That would just be something internal to the city. That says we're not going to annex these areas if it's going to use so much capacity of our plant. Mr. Pennington knows how to. When I talked with him, he had 20 years how much sewer plant he was going to need. So eventually we're going to have another one anyway. So I'll rough something out in a little bit vague terms, let you look at it.
This seems kind of redundant. Is this not something that's already there in the water department where you're getting ready to do?
There's a
What
water
was
line.
said, what the attorney just said he was going to write a letter to rough out. It's already information that's available at the water department. Correct.
Well, what we're asking for is a letter of intent or a memorandum of understanding to take, so that the city, not the city council, but the county commissioners can vote. To get the sewer to exit 105.
The original request was for North Coffee School and a small commercial zone out there. Nothing was really identified. Since that time, since our meeting, I don't know if you've read some of the emails.
And they don't mean anything.
Yeah, so it seems to be a issue that's not moving forward quickly. So
I think when the county asked us to do something, we didn't know what we're talking about building. I don't know what we were doing.
The county's asking us to. And there's a committee, there's 3 commission members, there's 3 aldermen. Their job is to rough it out, rough an agreement out, and bring it to vote. government bodies.
Where's the agreement?
Well, we don't have it.
Let them rough out an agreement, bring it.
That's what I'm asking Gerald, if he'll help us rough out the agreement.
Let them rough out the agreement.
If you want it done, then never happen.
You don't think that
I
committee's
don't
functioning?
think I think that we're gonna be the ones that push it forward if we're gonna do it. Well, we have one meeting.
The county never, I don't think the county ever.
Well, we had 3 people, we
I
had.
know, but they didn't go into their board and actually put members on.
I don't know, all
We
of us,
did.
we met with 3
I understand.
people the other day.
I don't understand, we haven't even talked about how much anything costs, and we're talking about a letter that we're gonna.
But we have talked about how much things cost.
No, we haven't seen anything, a little bit, yeah. But we have not had anything on a piece of paper that said how much it's going to project to cost, or how much the.
That is out there, actually. That was last April. Last April, the plan,
To me, to vote on something right
There's
now,
nothing
without
to
any
vote on.
letter of intent or whatever.
no, let me explain this here. Last April, the county came to the Water and Sewer Commission
Right.
and asked if the school and a small commercial zone be put on sewer in that area.
Right.
And it was about a $1.3 million project. Other than voting on saying yes or no for the project, the county is paying for 100%.
The mayor said, county mayor was in my office the other day and said that you'd already signed off that you were going to pay for the labor.
No, we never said.
No, wait, I didn't say you did say it. I'm saying what the county mayor said in my office the other day. I wrote it down at the vote room, he said it had already been signed off.
No,
Well,
that's not true.
exactly. I mean, nobody signed off on
That's
it.
furthest from the truth.
Exactly. But my point being, there's not even anywhere close to being talked about out there as much jibber jabbers there. That's just ridiculous. And nobody got a plan.
We were obligated to no cost.
That's just-
The Water Commission obligated themselves to no cost. Alderman Bellman was there, he could tell you, all we gave them was a nod from our board to move forward to your board to make the request to put the sewer in. That's all we did. No, nothing was discussed about any financial or funding.
Will you sign off on this, please, run water and sewer out to 105? I'm not being funny, do you want to? No. That's all I'm saying about it.
You don't have to work with the county.
We don't do anything
No,
until the
nobody's
county asks
asking
us to.
us to. The county's asked us to do it.
I haven't seen a formal letter anywhere.
I think the gist of what they told us in that meeting was very simple. It says, we want you to run waters, we want you to run sewer, North Coffee School, and a small commercial district, and we're gonna pay for everything.
Not us running, they were gonna run it.
Yeah, they were gonna pay for everything.
Then that's correct.
That's in the minutes, it's online. so
That's perfect. We don't have anything left to do here then. Our work is done. Right? If they're gonna pay for everything, do it then.
But we don't wanna run it out there and let everybody tie on to it, then we'll never be able to annex.
Well, and our capacity is, so we've got so many capacity questions.
Well, the
We've
capacity,
got to work those out.
We're not near anywhere of the memorandum of understanding.
the capacity was in that document that was handed out at the meeting.
Yeah, but like they were using the idea of having 2 hotels with, or there's some intent, they're gonna have 2 restaurants. I mean, what?
That's their vision.
And then I said there were gonna be 100 houses out there too. didn't I? I just made that up too.
Yeah, and their request actually said they would have no residential connections when they talked to the Water and Sewer Commission, so. So it has evolved.
Goes out there, there'd be a lot of sewer we have to have.
I think they're buying some land out there too.
Well, we're just gonna hold up and see what they come up with. Okay.
We were, or I was asked by Alderman French, which is on our committee, if we could meet the 18th with this same group from the county. I think we're gonna have a meeting the 18th. I don't know what time and where, but I told them that was fine with me, so I'm sure if anybody wants to come and hang out, they're welcome to do it and listen and put their input in.
I'd like to thank Mark Freeland and Roberts for just working with us, and I look forward to working with you, and just thank you.
Thank you. Likewise, look forward to working with you and Bonnie.
I said this in the work session, I'd like it to be a little more public. I appreciate what the mayor did. I got a phone call about some people falling at Baker Brother Drugs on the ice and snow. And I asked the mayor if he could do something about getting some handrails there, because it is a big step up. And he took care of it, and the street department, George's crew went over and took care of it, and they're very happy, and I appreciate you taking care of it.
One of the guys over there made them, everything.
John, what's John's last name?
Braun, John Braun.
John Braun.
I'd just like to say that next time we take pictures, we need to do it first, so we can get released.
Okay. Bill? I'm good, thank you. All right, we'll adjourn.
Here's your turn.